the other point thing is I would get your agreement. So, you know, because I could say, oh, I've got this amazing exercise for you, and you go, oh yeah, that's brilliant, thank you, and then you're never gonna do it. Whereas if I engage with you and say, well, how often do you think reasonably you can do that, and what do you think the challenges might be, and can we explore those to doing it? We can then come up with an agreement as to what you might do, and you're typically more likely to do it. So
could you, for example, in the case of someone like Grace, could you say, and you're not going to like this, Grace, say get off the bus at a stop earlier when you're going to school, or get your dad to drop you half a mile down the road instead of taking you to the front door?
Exactly that.
And it wouldn't necessarily be fun exercise, but at least you'd say, well,
no, yeah,
it's an obvious target.
Exactly that. So you're looking for the easy hanging fruit. So yeah, it doesn't have to be going to the gym. It doesn't have to be doing exercise. It's what works around your life. Now, because I could say, well, you know, if everyone goes to the gym, they're going to be healthier, and that is true, but it's not really much benefit for you around what you're doing. So really delving in and being specific about what we're asking and understanding the patient is really key to developing an effective approach with the patient.
This might be a bit of a stretch. Is there a potential negative effect? And if you say to a patient in chronic pain, who's probably got some psychological maintaining factors anyway, you've got to go to the gym and do this, and they think, I don't want to go to the gym, are they going to get more stressed and perhaps even exacerbate the problem?
I would say quite often my experience is that they just wouldn't engage with it. So they might tell you that they've done it when they've not, or they would just not engage with that element of treatment. And this is the other thing. In some people, exercise is not going to be where you can start with them. So you might have to start with a solely hands-on approach and gradually move them to something where they're doing more. You know, so you gradually shift the locus of control to them rather than us as the practitioner.
How are you getting? I mean, one of the incentives is the patient realizing they've made progress. So how are you setting these little targets or benchmarks for the patient? So
my little trick is to borrow their phone and video them doing it.
Right.
And say, okay, that's you doing the exercise. Okay, well then when we review it, we'll see what that looks like in a few weeks' time and things. They've got it on their phone. They can watch themselves doing it. So if they forget, then it's there for them. The other thing is they can then see progress, week to week, as they can watch back the videos and things.
And that's one of the hacks that we often have as well. It's so good to use people's phone, their own phone.
Yeah.
You'll have their permissions. And it's such a great way to keep up with the progress, right?
Exactly that, because if you give someone a sheet of exercises with the best will in the world, I'm going to look at that and think, well, I can maybe remember how to do one. How much do we learn after a lecture or in a lesson? Maybe 10%, 15% at the most. Yeah. And the same holds true for exercises and that kind of thing. And I think this is something that we often forget. We need to build in structures that allow that take not advantage of that, but take account of that, so that they have that built in.